Yes, guys, we keep it moving and we keep improving. I've been fat 3 times, and this is what I've learned. I've been fat, I've been lean, I've been fat, I've been lean, I've been fat, I've been lean. Now I'm fat, going back into lean. So what have I learned over the years? So I got fat the first time when I left home. I left home in 2003. Before I left home, my mum's always been healthy and always had a good shape and looked really well for her age. My food consisted of, when I lived at home, was corned beef and rice, tuna and rice, lamb chops and hard food, steak and hard food, Saturday soup, Sunday roast. There's so many meals I can go through. I used to go to my nan's on the weekend, and in the week had the same sort of meals there: mutton and rice, chicken and rice, hake and rice, hard food. So what hard food is? Hard food is like boiled potatoes, yam, plantain, pumpkin. That's classed as hard food in the black community. So when I was at home, which I didn't know about back then, most of my foods were single ingredient foods. Obviously I had a little treat cupboard for myself. I had my little biscuits and chocolates and whatever, but the majority of my household and what I ate through the week was single ingredient foods. I didn't even have fizzy pop in my house really. It was mainly water, and I had diluted pop. I think fizzy pop back then for me was a treat if I went to a birthday party, or you remember them parties in the early 90s where you get them little cans of pop. And people my age will know, you get them little fizzy cans, you get like a bottle of Panda. That's what I used to get treated to. So when I left home, all my principles and habits were completely left. You know what I mean? So from 2003, when I kind of left, I was 19, 20, all up to 2008, I was really fat. So between 2003, 2008, I put on extremes amount of weight. So I went from being healthy, playing football, active at home with my mum, to start playing football, non-active, hanging around, eating loads of shit. From 2003 to 2008, my life consisted of sitting in pubs, drinking J2Os, drinking Baileys, drinking alcohol, brandies and cokes, eating patties, ordering Indian food, Chinese food, ordering black food, chip shop food, going to the corner shop having Rustler burgers, eating Frey Bentos pies out of tins, chocolate, sweets, whatever you can think of in the processed world, I was eating. And that happened for a consistent time, pounding it every day. I was eating like that for 5 years. My weight ballooned up. I don't really know my weight back then, but I know I ballooned up at easily 6, probably 7 stone. So when I left home, I wasn't really cooking for myself at the time when I first left home. And I can cook as well. My mum learned me to cook from the age of 10. So like I said, I lost all my principles and habits when I left home. It got to a stage, I think I've said this before, I was constantly feeling sick. I was walking around with Gaviscon 24/7. My eyesight, I've always had bad eyesight to be fair, but my eyesight got worse for the way I ate. I just felt uncomfortable. It got to a stage where my body was saying enough. And I think I was at a stage where I could have been diabetic. I probably was obese at the time. You know what I mean? Like I didn't look massive, but I was 6 or 7 stone overweight. So between 2003 and 2008 is for the first time I properly got fat. And then I decided to start training. I just meditated. I started training with my friend, Tony Harvey. I put a pickup of me and him. We started training at Emporium. And that's when the first time I started getting in shape. And it was an amazing time. We did a lot of strength training. I started changing my food. I still didn't know about nutrition to a degree, but I knew what the basics were. I knew that what I was eating to what I was eating now was better. So having chicken and rice again, what my mum taught me, I put them principles back. So I didn't have no macro breakdown. I didn't really know about high protein diets then. I just knew that those foods was what I grew up on. So I was eating steaks again. I was having lamb chops, I was having the hard food again. I started cooking for myself, doing my own food. I really ate out. And that period of time from, say, 2008, say, to 2011, 12, I got in good nick. I got in some good shape. But here's the mistake I made though. The mindset, because I never knew about nutrition, and I thought you get into shape and then you've done it and your old habits can creep back in. So the second time I got fat is when I kind of took my foot off the gas. I didn't class it as a lifestyle then, and I thought I've made it, I'm in shape, I'm alright. Didn't train as heavy, didn't train as hard. I calmed down on cardio, I wasn't as active, I got sedentary a bit again. So I was still training, but I got back on drinking alcohol again. I was going out more, I was up and down the motorway, doing madness. So I lost all my habits and principles to a degree, but a part of it still stayed. So I didn't get completely fat as how I was before, but I put back on weight. I got soft, lost my core, lost my vascularity, face got all fluffy. And I would say from between, I would say 2012, I put back on weight again. Not as much as before, but I put on weight. I think I got to about, I was 16 stone lean. I think I got to about 17 and a half stone. I put back on about a stone and a half. But the point I'm saying is, I lost my habits a bit to a degree, but I learned about nutrition. During 2012, I did a diploma in diet and nutrition and started learning about nutrition on this new journey. So during 2012, I got back on it again, cut out the alcohol, cut out the fast lifestyle and focused back on my training. But my mistake again, this time around, I started messing around with steroids. I started taking a bit of test, taking a bit of trend. And again, my mindset was a quick fix. Even though I knew the principles of how to get in shape, my mindset was a quick fix. So I got in shape again between 2012 and 14. I got in good nick. But I didn't take my nutrition seriously and the principles seriously, because I was taking steroids now. I thought, okay, I'm taking steroids now, so I can take a back burner, the steroids will do the work. I didn't have to put the proper work in. So even though I did get in shape, I wasn't the leanest, but I got in good shape. But again, it was the steroids was my crutch. I didn't really know what I was doing. So I would say I took steroids between 2012 to 2014, 15, and I think that was my worst period of my life, because you naturally get an ego thinking, oh, this is okay, I'm cruising this. You know what I mean? And God forbid it, no, I never got no injuries. I wouldn't say I was ego lifting, I was lifting my heavies round then as well. Deadlifting 300 kg, benching, I think, what was I benching then? Like 180 to 190 kg, squatting 200 kg. And I was in there, I felt like I was Superman. And then I just got to this realization that I can't maintain this steroid life. And there's a lot of things going on around the world with a lot of these influencers and gym guys that were dying of heart attacks and whatever, and that scared me. I'm not gonna lie. When I see all them heart attacks, people passing away and dying through steroid abuse, I thought, you know what, this game is not for me. Then I come off all of that shit, and then I won't say I took a back burner, but me coming off them cycles, I just come off them aggressively. And I felt like shit for a while during 2014 and 2015, I would say. Like I felt like I lost all my strength, I didn't feel as powerful. But what I realised again is, during this time, I put weight back on again because I used steroids as a crutch. So this is twice now I've put on the weight. I've used the steroids as a crutch. And even though I know the principles of eating healthy and how to eat and how to train, I put back on weight again. So the second time I put on weight was based on steroids. I use steroids as like, I can get in shape. I don't need to do all the other things that people do. But what people fail to understand, when you take steroids, you need to train even harder and be on point more with your nutrition. You can't take a back burner and think, okay, I'm gonna drink loads of alcohol, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, because you'll look worse, you'll look watery, you won't look the best. So that's when I would say I put back on weight during that period of time, say 2015, say 16ish, I think. And then when I put that weight back on again, I worked back hard again to get back in shape again. And again, between 2016 all the way up to 2019, I was in the best shape of my life. I got all my bloods done after all that steroids and whatever I'd taken. My bloods were decent, but my estrogen levels were quite high. Do you know what I mean? So I had to rebalance certain things. I carried on training. I learned more about nutrition, whatever, and I got into the best shape between 2016 to 2019. Then what happened again now when I put back on weight again, we had COVID. COVID came at the back end of 2019 going to 2020, and my nan as well, God rest her soul, was quite ill. My nan had dementia at the time as well. So during 2019 with COVID and the lockdowns, I kind of lost the love of gym, kind of lost my focus again. My nan was going through her problems, so I was going to my nan, stopping there, seeing my nan. So I kind of lost track again, lost track of food. I wasn't really focused on eating well. I just lost my way. So during lockdown, all up to say 2022, I kind of lost my way. I didn't feel like me, didn't feel the best. My nan eventually passed away. That kind of broke me down for a while. I'm still feeling it now today, but we still crack on. Love her loads, and rest in peace, nan. But we're at 2024 now, so I've put weight back on again during my nan passing, during COVID. We come out of COVID, and I lost the love for the gym. I got one of my good friends. I even got a coach. One of my good friends that coaches. I thought, you know what? I'm gonna get him to come and coach me for a bit. And he was like, Dan, you sure? You know everything? You don't need a coach? I was like, it's not even about the coach. I just need some accountability. I just need to kick up my ass. I just needed someone to kind of wake me up. I stayed with him for a bit. I was with him for about 4 months. We got on well, but it just never worked due to my mindset at the time. I wasn't in the right place. I still felt a bit shit about my nan. There's a couple of other things going on in the background with certain things. I just wasn't in the right frame of mind. You know what I mean? So I had to kind of sit down properly between 2022 to the back end of this year and just get myself together. I kind of fell out of love with the gym. I was still going to the gym, but I wasn't training the way I was supposed to be. Like I always said this before, I said this before in my videos, you can go to the gym as much as you want. If you're not focused and got a plan of what you're training, your mind-muscle connection is not there, you're just going to socialise. As you know, there's a lot of people you probably trained and seen at the gym, you've seen them trained at the gym and they've stayed the same for years because they're not engaged in what they're doing. When I go to the gym, it's war. Like I don't really talk to nobody in the gym. Sometimes I probably got a face in the gym where people are scared to come up to me. I just go in there, it's just business. I go in there to train and I'm off. If you want to talk to me after the session or give me a shout on socials. I've had people even messaging me on social media, oh mate, you looked a bit angry in the gym today, you looked a bit pissed off. It's not that I'm pissed off, I just go in there focus of what I need to do. I'm not in there to socialise. If I want to socialise, we'll go for a Starbucks or we'll go out for food. In the gym, I ain't got time for the big conversations during sets. That's just me. But anyway, yeah, I lost my way during that period of time. And now, fast forward to now where we are now, I put back on 3 stone. So my comfortable weight for me, my lean weight is 16 stone. I got all the way up to 19 stone 6, as I've told people before on this YouTube channel. And I decided to make that change this year, July the 9th. I went on holiday for my friend's stag, and I just thought, you know what, that holiday was for enjoying my friend's stag and just having a time out of clearing my head, eating the last bits of shit, drinking, enjoying life, whatever. And I just thought, you know what, when I get back, it's business. And since I've come back, I've dropped 1.5 stone. I've dropped 21 pounds from July the 9th this year up to where we are now. I think it's October. What day is it today? October the 22nd today. So I've dropped 21 pounds in about 90 days, 3 months. So on average, I've been dropping 7 pounds a month. But My point, I'm telling you all of this, I've learned so much over putting on weight and losing it, putting on weight and losing it. And the lessons I've learned is you can't out-train a bad diet. You have to be on point with your nutrition. It's got to be a lifestyle. You can't go in this thing as it's a hobby and, oh, I'm going to take my time and blah, 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 and do this and do that. Like, it's not a part-time thing. You've got to make that change and make the transitions. The other lessons I've learned during this time as well, steroids will not save you. Steroids will not help you. Steroids are no good. I took them for about 2 to 3 years on and off, and it was probably the worst period of my life taking them. I didn't need them. I've always been a big lad. I've always been strong. I don't know why I don't know why I took them, and I used them steroids as a crutch to take my foot off the gas with training, and I thought I could live a rascal life, still drinking up and down the motorway, doing madness. But because I'm on steroids, it's okay. And it's not okay because they mess with your mind, and they're not good. They're not good overall. They're toxic. They're not. That's another conversation for another video. But they're no good. And like I said before, I've seen a lot of people have heart attacks and die in the industry. You can Google it on YouTube, whatever, and go and watch the videos. A lot of people have passed away, and that was like a scare. Like, I don't want to die of taking steroids when I know I can get into the best shape without them. So steroids are not a quick fix, people. They're no good. They're toxic. Don't take them. And the third lesson I learned as well is life. No matter what goes on in your life, always try and keep a structure and a foundation. You could be going through bad things in your life. I'm not saying don't take a day off, but I think with me, I had the wrong emotional connection with food. So when we was in COVID and lockdown, just because it's lockdown doesn't mean you have to eat shit because we're locked down. If you're going through heartache in your family, or you're in a bad place, which a lot of people are going through certain things, don't have that emotional connection with food because you're going through something bad in your life. You can still eat on point and still eat healthy. I used to have that mad mindset myself where I could take a day off from the gym, and because I'm taking a day off or it's a rest day, that rest day doesn't mean I eat shit because it's a rest day. Or if the weekend comes, or it's weekend, let's eat shit. You've got to get that mindset into this is a lifestyle, and that's what I've learned over the years. Like, if you're in this thing for real, it's a lifestyle. I'm not saying you can't have your treats or whatever, but it's got to be at least 90%, 10%. So 90% nutrition on point, 10% you can play with. If you can't be that strict, okay, cool, 80-20%, which the average person does. I try to stick to 90-10. You know what I mean? So that's what I've learned over my years, being lean, being fat, being lean, being fat, being lean, being fat. And this time around now, on my journey now, all the principles I've learned, I should be the best ever going into next year, and I plan to maintain how I look and not yo-yo. It's all about balance, people. Like, no, the fad diets, steroids, heartache in life, death. These are all these things I get, like, but even with the death and the tragic times, just because the tragic times there doesn't mean you've got to go completely left with how you treat your body. You know what I mean? That's like having a bad day at work and you aim to crash your car on the roads in the day. Like, you're not going to crash your car on purpose. It's the same with your body. Your body is one vessel. You've got one body. So no matter what you're going through within your life, always look after that one body. We've only got one. You know what I mean? So I intend to do that for the rest of my life. I'm 41. I want to be the best in my 50s. I want to be the best in my 60s. I want to be the best in my 70s. So I hope the advice helps everybody on their journey regarding if you've been yo-yoing all your life. Like, kind of have a look back in your own life through your own lens and think, why have I put back on weight? What's the root cause for this? What do I need to learn here? And like I said, the key things for me were you can't out-train a bad diet. Steroids can't save you. And no matter what you go through your life, if it's heartache, always stick to the plan. If you can't go to the gym, make sure your nutrition's still on point. Nutrition is the key. So if you're going through something bad in your life, like if you have a bad day at work today, you shouldn't have that emotional connection with food where you think, fuck it, I'm gonna have a chocolate bar, I'm gonna have a whole loaf of bread, I'm going out to eat pizza tonight. You shouldn't have that attachment. You should still stick to the plan. So I hope this helps everybody on their journey. So be extraordinary and dare to be different.